Hi, I'm Michelle,
And I'm Laura.
and you're listening to
Our car ride conversations on
Let's Drive.
Hi, I'm Laura.
Hi, I'm Michelle.
This is
Let's
Let's Drive. We're cruising around today, and we were walking through some. Oh my God, someone has a cat. It's so cute. So this is exactly it. Oh my goodness.
Kitty
See,
cat.
kitty cat.
Oh.
I wish we should get cute with this cat.
Oh.
So welcome. We have been walking around, and we walked into some antique stores today, and it made me think of today's episode, haunted or in your head. I have a lot to talk about when it comes to haunted stuff. I know it's not October, but you know what? You can talk about hauntings any time of the year, right?
Because it doesn't just happen
And I wanted to
in October, I was going to say.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't just happen.
It doesn't just happen
I
in
wanted
October.
to equate it to, because this has happened to me, when craziness, what's happening in your life can cause activity.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're with a stressful person, if you're feeling stress, I do feel like the appearance of darker energy and hauntings can appear.
Or I can bring it out more.
Can bring it out.
Yeah.
Especially if you're like fighting with someone, like that energy. I want to just start with things that have happened to us, haunting wise.
Yeah.
Things have happened to us together, but I'll start.
Okay.
So since I was a kid, I'm actually in a book called Rock and Roll Ghost Stories. So I lived in this house in South New Jersey, and I did not sleep in my bed from the age of 5 to 16. Not one time in the bed.
Poor baby. Couldn't even sleep.
I knew. Because I felt like, this is going to sound funny because I'm gay, but I felt like there was a man standing over me. And
Of course, it's a creepy man.
I know.
Of course, it's a creepy dude.
No. Everyone else.
It's always a creepy dude.
Everyone else in my family felt him, and friends would come over. We would go in that room, and nobody wanted to be in that room. Like, this is serious.
Ugh.
You would hear someone in the closet speaking. One time
Spooky.
we recorded. It's called EVP. We recorded, and you hear a man say, "Get out."
Wow, you did all that? I didn't even know this.
Yeah, I was
EVP.
younger. Listen, I know a thing or two
Wow,
about a thing or two.
you're a professional.
Thing or two. So we'd walk down the steps. We would hear a man walking down the steps. No one was there. So the day we moved out, when I was 16, the neighbor goes, "Thank goodness you got her out of there after the murder there."
Oh,
Turns
my
out there was a
God.
murder in the room. So
Oh,
I remember
God.
this uneasy feeling as a kid, like someone was watching me.
Yeah.
And that, since then, I've had a lot of other experiences with ghosts and other worldly things, but that still to this day I can remember the feeling.
Well, yeah, I imagine that's pretty impressionable.
Yeah, and I've always been interested in it, but I've done ghost hunts and things, tons of them, but it also scares the heck out of me at the same time.
Yeah. Laura's, it's funny because I know Laura as a person who's scared of anything. Literally,
Everything.
if I hide behind a door.
Oh my God, she did the other
Like,
night.
it's so obvious. Yeah, I did it the other night. She, like, literally, she didn't
Screamed.
just jump. She ran into, I think, the door itself or something. I don't know. Something happened. I was like, oh my gosh, are you okay? I was just standing there. Like, she
So
gets
she was
so
like-
freaked out. But yeah, I was scary, I guess. I was trying to scare her, but like she's spooked kind of like a little, like, 6-year-old would be.
Well, I listened to Long Island Medium, and I've seen her show, and she's also scared of it. She's a medium. So I want to tell you guys, this will be a full other episode, but I do have the ability to connect with people on the other side. It also scares the crap out of me. It takes a lot out of me. But, maybe that's a part of my interest in hauntings. But today's episode is about hauntings. That'll be a separate thing. But I'm saying there must be something to that as well. But have you had many hauntings as a kid, or?
So I was always skeptical. I was like, "Ugh, I don't know if ghosts are real or not. I was like, ghosts are probably not real. Like, I never really believed. You're looking at me
You're
like
so cute.
You're.
Oh,
She's
you're
checking me
cute.
out again. Oh my gosh. I can't with you. I love you. No, I think growing up, I was like, I don't really believe in ghosts, but then I kind of did. I was so open-minded to things that I kind of was like, maybe there's some kind of spiritual or spirit, like, presence. My brother would tell me crazy stories, like, because we were, my family was all from, like, Jersey. And when they lived in I think
Jersey,
Burlington
hauntings.
area, they said
Jeez.
Burlington was, like, so haunted, that area.
Jeez.
They
South
had
Jersey,
my brother when he was a little kid, along with my oldest sister, my eldest.
elder sister.
The eldest
Hello.
of us all.
Oh.
They both saw this like dark figure. I think it was like the Jersey Devil. They swear that they saw the Jersey
That's
Devil.
my whole childhood.
They saw the Jersey Devil at the top of the stairs. My brother, when he was telling me this story when I was younger, I was like, I couldn't sleep that night at all.
believe it.
But I was like, when I got older,
Yeah.
it was when I moved to this one place. I call it my bungalow. It was like this little place, which Laura got to experience.
I did. Well, I'm really glad that you're segueing because I want to talk about how we saw things together.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you, when I walked into her home for the first time we met, I immediately felt activity and numerous spirits in there because I'm very like I can feel energy really well, like our last episode, but I could feel otherworldly energy.
Yeah.
That was the scariest place I've ever walked into, and I've walked into some
And it's
scary
funny
places.
because I was saying how I was kind of skeptical. Like my brother told me a story. I didn't really have encounters or really much happen ever in my life until I moved there, which I was like 25 I think when I moved there, or 26 or something. And like as I was older, I didn't really have any experience with stuff, but I could feel presence like of this or that, but I thought it was made up in my head.
You were even taunting
Haunted or in your head.
Haunted or in your head.
I thought it was in my head the whole time.
Yeah.
No, but I told you before Laura told me anything, about the feeling she got when she walked into my house.
Oh my gosh.
Around when we first met. I was like, it was when I was drinking at first. I would sense something out. Like,
you're drinking spirits to find the spirits.
Yeah, the spirits bring out the spirits, they say. But that's when you're more susceptible, they do say. But I started believing in ghosts when I moved here because I sensed a guy in the back, an old man. And I didn't really see a clear view of it, but I sensed it, and I was just like taunting them in the deck. I remember taunting spirits, and then I felt some dark presence go through the kitchen later on. Always the kitchen. It was like a dark, really dark presence, a dark spirit. It was like something eerie, real eerie. I remember yelling and being like, oh, just don't come in, and all these things. There's a lot of different weird things that happened. Then I asked my landlord, I was like, hey, after a few months, I was like, is this place haunted? And they're like, yeah. And they were just honest with me. And they were like, I was like, have other people seen stuff? They're like, yeah, have you seen the girl in the colonial dress in the backyard by the barn? I was like, what? And then my boss, actually, her baby mama had lived there, and she went to high school.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they went out there, specifically behind the house is haunted. They were telling me ghost stories. They're like, you live there now? It was crazy. So it was confirmed.
And you could just feel like this like thickness when you walked in. Like it wasn't all the time. Like I think they didn't like me because I brought a light to them.
Yeah. Laura's
when
so
I walked in because I'm like
glowy
full
light.
of. And I'm always like
Good
I always
energy.
walk around and say white lights surround me. White lights surround me. That place. So during our relationship, like first couple months, before we moved in together, like to our own place, I was sleeping in there. We're having a normal night. We're eating hoagies. We got all excited, all cozy with our sweet potato chips. Oh, that was a good night.
Oh my God, that made me hungry.
And I felt someone on the ceiling staring at me. I felt someone walking back and forth. And mind you, she has never told me.
I never told her at this
Specifically
point.
what these spirits were. Someone was pacing. Someone was in the room on the ceiling looking at me.
Yeah.
And they felt creepy, like not like a friendly Casper ghost.
No, like you could feel it. And in the past, I had felt that like my whole time being there. I had been there for at least 2 or 3, I think 3 or 4 years at this point, or something crazy. And I had felt this, and I felt too scared to tell anyone because I didn't think they would believe me. But then, you experienced it.
So you kind of like, it was as if she got taken over. She left me there as I'm scared to go to the bathroom for no reason.
I went to the bathroom.
The door closes like boom, 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 like someone closed it.
Yeah.
I screamed. We left there at 1 o'clock in the morning. It was trying to scare me. It didn't like my presence because before me, she had been with someone that was causing a lot of animosity in there. And I believe that spirits jump onto craziness and crazy feelings, and they love anger and they love those emotions.
Hostile.
It feeds them.
Yeah.
And I think when I mean haunted in your head, I think you can create a hostile environment around you, and bad things that are already in the energy come out.
Like, you mean you feel like spirits attach themselves
to chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they feed off of it.
I always felt like hauntings are... So when I walk in somewhere, just me being very, like, in tune with things as a Pisces, I feel like you can feel something that happened there. Because it already happened. Energy, like I said before, can't be destroyed, blah, blah, blah. But you ever think about when you walk in a house, you're like, people lived here, people were here, they've already been in this moment, but that moment can be recreated. I'm getting deep, I'm getting deep.
I'm really digging this.
It can be recreated. So what if, like, the animosity that you're bringing to it makes them come out and want to be...
Yeah.
I just feel like it feeds them.
Like it feeds them or triggers
them.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what a lot of these spirits are.
They're like, ooh, we see this. The other thing about the place I used to live in, the interesting fact, when I first moved in, it was weird. They asked me, they're like, you're single, right? I was like, what?
Yeah.
Signing a lease agreement. You're single, right?
Who asked that? Is that even legal?
No, I thought it was weird.
I
I thought there was really weird stuff. They said I couldn't light candles there too. I thought that was odd.
There must have been a reason for that.
They said you can't light candles. I was like, I lit candles.
Did the spirit knock the candle on?
I don't know. That was a weird thing too. They had very odd things, and I thought that was just, like, I was like, okay, I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, whatever, I don't care. This place is cheap.
Yeah.
I'll live here.
You get what you pay for, folks.
Yeah, apparently. But what was this? Oh, they asked, because they said and I asked them, I was like, I laughed at that. I was like, why would you ask me that though? And they're like, well, we found that a lot of couples that lived here, they got in arguments, really bad arguments, where they would end up, like, the doors got broken or little things, like little things would happen, and it was a really aggressive, like, fights, they said. I was like, okay, well, yeah, I'm single, I'm good.
And that's what happened to you with someone else. Wow.
Yeah.
I think maybe the energy was brought out, but when I came in there...
Like you said, they get triggered by things, situations, maybe a lot of the people, like, that, I don't know. Because you didn't really live
But when I came in, we were never doing things like that.
We were never...
They didn't like my energy because I was too nice.
You were too good.
I was too good. And it wants that darkness. But I've felt so many different spirits, like to the point of insanity, how many spirits I've felt in my life.
It's weird. Every time we walk into a store or, like, a new place, Laura, especially historic places, she picks up, she's like, okay, this place is super haunted. She knows, and I'm like, whatever. And then I'm trying to think of a specific story to tell them.
Oh.
Because there's so many, but...
I've learned to turn it off because I can actually, like, feel the emotions of what's in there. Like I said, I've astral projected to my wife. We can get into this. Before we get into whole astral projection, it's basically being able to be in another place in real time, even if it's in the past, present, or future. So when we met, our connection was so strong. I was able to tune in, us holding hands like this. I saw her at 15 years old. I saw her entire room. I've never been in her home, where she grew up. I described every single thing, and I saw her as
without
a
15-year-old. As 15-year-old me.
And the craziest, I don't think it's creepy. She looked into the TV, and I said it before she even said it. What did you say into the TV? Is anyone there?
Is anyone there? I remember that moment because I didn't understand why I said that.
And if you guys have ever seen the movie, oh my God, Interstellar, it's kind of similar to that movie. There's a scene where the dad and the daughter connect from different dimensions. And I believe in all of that. I believe in different dimensions.
I didn't believe any of this stuff. Let me just say, as a person, I didn't know that this even existed, first of all. And if I did know, I would be like, show me proof.
Yeah.
And you literally describing my room that I never told you anything about.
Nothing.
And then
everything.
this moment, it wasn't just the room she described. She was like, she was describing the moment I had, because I was really sad at that point. You know, I was in the closet. There was a lot going on. And I was like, you know, when you're a 15-year-old, you're searching for yourself, too.
Is anyone there? But I felt like I was there when you said that. And it feels like when you astral project, it's in real time. And I feel like this is the same realm of hauntings and spirits. And a lot of people are scared of it. They think it's evil. It's not evil when it's done for good. Like, I don't believe in witchcraft. For me personally, I don't like anything like that. I'm not saying it's horrible for those listening. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about spirituality and just having abilities. I feel like I was put on this earth to just have this ability, but being with her, it's crazy how I can do things like this.
Maybe because you're at the calmest point. Because, like
myself,
you said,
I feel like. I also was holding her hand one night, and I saw us in our 60s in an RV traveling, but it was in real time.
Yeah.
So it was like interdimensional. And I've never, ever been able to do things like this until I met you. It's just most unbelievable to me.
And not just that. You did it once with a patient that I was really close to.
As you know, she's a nurse.
I'm a nurse. And I had a patient who, she passed now, but before I guess it was after she passed, I was like, because I was so close to her, and she meant, like, there was something about her that special. I had. She was a really special patient. I still to this day talk about her, but I never told Laura anything descriptive about, you know, because I went to her home, because I do home health, but.
Yeah.
Anyway, Laura actually described one of the first visits that she astral projected into that visit.
I tapped in.
And she described the couch, the fireplace.
Yeah.
She even said there was a rug on the floor, and it was like this glass display for her dishware.
Oh yeah.
That she described all of this.
Now I can't remember because I got in my head.
Yeah.
But,
but during that moment, you were astral projecting. That's what it was, and I was like, "This is insane." And then at that moment, like, I mean, you can go more in depth about it. But yeah, that's...
It begs me the question, do you think we all can have that ability to tap in if you're that open-minded?
If you relax your brain. Well, they do say that we only use a certain percentage that I do not know because I did not look at the statistics. Exactly. But we only use a certain percentage. It's a really low percentage of our brains. And...
But maybe you can tap in that much when you're around the right... Like, I've never been this amazing at this ability until my energy aligned with yours.
Yeah.
So, haunted in your head. In my head, I'm aligned. I'm open. I'm free. When people are constantly putting you down and following the script, which is always going to be our theme of our episodes. We don't want... We want you guys to listening and to open your mind a little bit.
Yeah.
And free yourself from that. You know? But back to the hauntings. I want to tell another story. Oh, and by the way, we want to do a listener episode of these, so please, we're going to ask questions on our Spotify. I'm going to ask, have you ever seen or felt a ghost on our Spotify question of the week?
Yes.
And on our social media at Let's Drive, I want you to please write any of your haunted or spiritual stories to us. We're going to do in a listener episode. So I was touring in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania a couple years ago. This is a good one. You guys, if you're listening to your car, get all cozy. So my dad rented this like immaculately beautiful Airbnb in the woods, like literally in the middle of nowhere of Gettysburg, to fit the whole band and my mom. Like, you know, we all stayed there. It was beautiful, but we're like, why was this so cheap? Again, you get what you paid for. Like
you get what you pay for.
Bungalow. And so I'm sleeping, and I felt like energy the first night. It was fine, but the second night, my mom is like always has to get up to pee, and she's like, I'm not going to the bathroom. I'm not going to the bathroom. For my mom not to do that's really weird. My dad's like laughing at her. So I'm in my room. My mom's like stirring about in her room. It's like, I think it was like 10, 11 o'clock or something. I don't even know. I look up. There's like a little tiny attic door that's on top of of the main door.
Oh, God.
It's turning.
It's
turning. My mom comes in with a broom, and all of a sudden everything's okay. Something's turning.
Everything's okay. She's got a broom,
okay.
guys. Don't worry.
And then my brother, the same night, like later in the night, he starts screaming. He felt his blanket go up.
Yeah.
Like a ghost lifted it. My brother's not easily spooked either. Me and my brother hightailed out of there. Luckily, we drove separately. But my parents stayed because, they paid for it. They're going to stay the whole 3 days.
They're getting their money's worth.
They read the guest book. Everyone in the guest book talked about their ghost experiences there, which we didn't read. After we were haunted back when I was living with her temporarily, we were just talking about the guy walking around. We actually went to New Hope, Pennsylvania. I feel like New Hope should sponsor us.
I know. All of our good moments are it's like our rescue place.
It is our rescue place.
It's like our calm place,
It's our serenity.
rescue place, our serenity. Ooh.
We went to a witch shop, and it's not as scary as you think. When I said I don't want into witchcraft, I'm not, because I don't do spells, and I don't believe in that. I believe apparently I need to be educated. Apparently there are good witches. That's what the witch shop was telling us.
No, they said there are good ones and then there are evil ones.
So I am not talking about.
No, we're not going to talk about that because we don't really know much.
I know
about
nothing
that.
about it, so I just want you guys to know.
We just needed to find something because she ended up for a month. You had to live at that place.
Yes, so we went and we got a ghost clearing kit.
A ghost clearing kit. Yeah, we literally raced there the next day.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Work or something.
Yeah. So
we'll cut that out.
Anyway, so when we went to New Hope, we went to this witch store. We've told the lady behind the counter our story, and she looked freaked out. She called her boss.
Yeah, who owned the shop.
It was the owner of the shop, because she's like, I don't know what to do for you. Like, you can get that. She's like, it sounds like you have something more serious going on. And I was like, what? Is it going to, like, attach myself when we move?
Yeah.
Because we were looking for a place of our own at that point. I was like, oh, my God. So we got a ghost clearing kit for our new place. It was a whole thing.
And when I walked into well, first of all, we did the whole ceremony. We lit the candle.
We lit the candle.
It did help for a while. And then,
it did
luckily,
feel like it helped a little bit.
Lighter, but
like the sage and all that good stuff.
You know when someone's like staring at you for, like, if you're like a coffee shop or something, like it's always just there. That's how it felt though. Even after we cleared it, it's like, why are they looking at me? Why is that person looking at me? So when we moved in the new place, I never felt such incredible energy in my life. Like, I felt so happy, and
it felt so
clear.
Clear and pure, and it just felt like nothing ever happened there. I felt new.
And it brings me back to haunted in your head. We together as a married couple are just really great energy together, great together. Maybe our past was bringing these hauntings to us.
Maybe it caused disruptions, and maybe our good energy being together, or no, maybe, I'm sorry, the opposite. Maybe the good energy, it disrupts them, and it makes, like, any haunted, like spirit, ghost, whatever you want to call it, like, it makes them feel like they're disrupted. They're like, wait, what is this? We don't like this. If it's a negative spirit. But I don't know. I feel like that was demonic at that house or something.
But now that we're calm, like, your blood pressure's down, like, when you're with the wrong person and horrible things are going on in your life. Like, I got in so many car accidents when I was with the wrong person.
Oh, me too.
It goes back to energy, and it also goes back to, anything that's disruptive in your life and shouldn't be with you. I feel like things are always going to be a blockage.
Or off balance.
So maybe the hauntings are a metaphor for a lot of things.
Maybe.
When you're not with the right person. And we like to just talk on this podcast because I know I used to go to podcasts when I was like, that's what I want. That's what I want in my life. I want to manifest that. So I feel like, I haven't really felt many spirits since we've been together, since we've been, united as one, because we're bringing in better energy. We're bringing in better.
Maybe there are spirits around us. Maybe they're just positive spirits. Maybe they're more like, spirits that are looking out for us. Because can I just say before this episode ends, I have to say this one, because this is something weird that happens. Even your mom noticed it. I think we were on a 3-way call one time. I think, unless I just made that up in my head.
She dreamt it.
Maybe I dreamt that. But anyway, so like in my car, and it doesn't matter which car it is, because I had a different car, and then I had a loaner car, and it did the same thing. So when I drive around for my job, and I don't put anything different in my seat that shouldn't be there or anything. There's it doesn't matter what's going on. I try to look at all the logic to it.
Yeah, she's very logical. She's Aquarius.
I'm an Aquarius logical person. Open-minded, but logical.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, why? Is my seat... So it's my seatbelt, my little seatbelt thing, it was beeping. And I was like, it would just randomly during the day, it would just start beeping and then alerting me, okay, like as if there's a passenger in that seat. And I'm like, well, there's no one there. And I didn't put my phone down on there. I didn't put something down. Nothing has changed this entire time. I've been driving for the last half an hour, and all of a sudden it's beeping. And it would just randomly do it. And I'm on the phone a lot. I'll be on the phone with Laura, because she has a different work schedule than me.
Yeah.
And so we'll be talking. She noticed it after a while. She's like, it's just beeping randomly. And I'm like, yeah, I'm used to it at this point. And she always asks me, why do I put the seatbelt on the passenger seat? Because
it's your angels.
It's my angels. I think they're good spirits.
You have aligned.
Good spirits or angels looking out for me.
You have reached
That's my theory.
We both have reached what we have wanted to reach in our lives. We've aligned, and only the good spirits are around us. I believe in angels. I believe in everything. What do you guys believe in? I want you to leave some comments on our social media. At Let's Drive, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube,
Twitter.
TikTok, Twitter.
I love saying Twitter. Twitter.
We're going to do an episode of listener ghost stories, of course.
Yes.
And, and think about your life now. If your life is chaotic right now, start to notice if the energy follows you, if the spirits or that crazy chaos energy follows you. Maybe these hauntings are just a bunch of chaotic energy.
Yeah. Or start looking around and who you're letting in your life, and what you're allowing in your life, and what's going on in your life, and where your mental state is too. Yeah. I think that has a lot. Like she said, like Laura said, like baby said. Like baby said.
When you're calmer, it's going to follow you, and maybe these hauntings are in our head, or maybe they're real. We don't know. It's fun to sit around at a little campfire and talk about it.
Yeah, our little ghost stories.
Little ghost stories.
We love our ghost stories.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Look us up, L to the E to the Z.
New episode every Sunday. Let's Drive. Please subscribe and tell your friends, and join us on social media, and please answer our question of the week. Have you ever experienced ghosts or spirits? So it'll be fun.
Ooh,
thank you guys so much. We love ya.
Peace.
And let's drive. If you don't know about Gettysburg, it's one of the most haunted places in America.
Wasn't there... I'm really not a history buff. Wasn't there a war there?
We need to cut this out. We can't. Please someone help my wife. No, I'm going to leave this in just because...
No.
I just can't say anything. We're going to move on from that. That's going to be our blooper. Wow. Now, moving on. So after we were... This is the best content we could ever have.